it's Brittany. So, getting a bit cold in here. So anyway, today it's gonna be a back in time watches video, and today I'll be sharing with you the first time that I saw the movie Black Swan. I'm sorry. I feel like I can't breathe somehow, but I think it's because it feels like the air is hitting right in my nose. So I'm like, okay. So, okay. So Black Swan starring Natalie Portman, Jude Law, and Mila Kunis. So it came out in 2010, and it's this really interesting movie. It's this horror psychological movie, and now I remember when I heard about it, I thought, okay, this seems interesting, although I never saw it in theaters. But I think when I did came to watch it the first time, it was, I can't remember. It had to be either 2013 or 2014, around there. And so that means I was either 22 or 23 at the time when I first saw it. And so as I'm watching it the first time, and as I'm watching it, I remember I was just thinking, okay, so how is this gonna be? Like, how is this gonna turn out? So as I'm watching it, that I can see that, the characters she's playing, and of course how her mother is like, is strange in a way, but she's also quite uptight, and she's strict, and then she pretty much grew up, it seemed like her character grew up living a life where she didn't know how to have fun, because it was mostly just work, like hard work on her ballet, and it seemed like she didn't really go out as much to have fun, and and she was like always like working hard, and just, I think, trying to be perfect in what she was doing as a ballerina. But the thing is, though, is that no matter what you're trying to perfect in something, is that it's not good. I feel like no one can really do that if they're focused on it too much. But if they just try to have some fun and not always focus on the work, because if you're always focused on the work itself, then yeah, you're gonna be stressed, and you're gonna be, then yeah, it's not gonna come out right. But if you just somehow let loose a little and just have some fun every now and then, and yeah, then at some point you will perfect in what you need to perfect, and you know what I mean. But if it's always focused on it, then yeah, it's not gonna come out the way that it should, or the way that you want it to. So, and of course we can see how, like, says, she's not really the kind of person that would be going out and be having fun. So she seems shy, and she just like keep things to herself, and so she just doesn't really, she doesn't really socialize. But then when she does, like, she's like kind of quiet, and it almost seems like she's a little bit afraid to say something to someone because depending what they might say back. So she's always like, it seems like she's a little cautious to what she says. I don't know if that's just me, but that's just what it kind of seems like. But so like I said, as watching this, that, um, I'm sorry, I feel like, I'm not getting my words out. I don't know why. I think something's distracting me at the moment. Um, but yeah. And then of course, and the thing is that there are certain scenes that happen where we think it's happening when actually she was hallucinating. And I'm wondering too why she was having these hallucinations. It could be there was something going on with her mentally, or either because, or maybe there's just something going on with her, yeah, probably mentally, psychologically, and that somehow she was seeing these hallucinations and thinking it was real when it wasn't. Okay, um, like the sex scene between her and Lily. Like, at first I thought that was real too. It does seem like it, but, of course, by the time she woke up and when she went back to the ballet studio and when she had told, um, Lily, about this, she, she was telling her how she wasn't there, she didn't slept over, and then she tells her that she had like a sex dream about her, and instead of her like trying to really explain it to her, or trying to at least say something, she's like, stop it. And so yeah, so like I said, that does seem real, but I'm just wondering if that was a hallucination, then what was really going on? But the best way I could put it is that during this hallucination of this sex scene that she thought was real when it wasn't, I believed it was actually this very, very intense, uh, uh, scene where she was mostly just pleasuring herself, and I think that's what it was. I do, because since that was a hallucination, I can't think of anything else other than that she had this intense moment, of pleasure, where she was mostly just pleasuring herself. So it's like she was hallucinating to thinking what was going on when it wasn't. So I'm thinking maybe that's what it was. Or maybe it could have been a dream too. Maybe it could have been this very, very realistic sex dream, between her and Lily. But then again, if it was a dream, then how is it that she was awake because she was hallucinating? So, or maybe it wasn't like a dream she was having when she was awake, but then again, I'm not sure how you can explain that. So anyway, yeah, and then another thing, let's see, because even later on, when she is in the dressing room, when she was about to perform, uh, the role of the Black Swan, Swan Queen, that she, and this seemed real too, that Lily was in, and that she was already dressed up, as a Black Swan, so she was getting ready, and then she gets mad and she throws her at the mirror, and she gets like a shard of glass and stabs her. So she thought she had killed her. So she drags her body to the bathroom, in the dressing room, and and had closed the door. Now, of course, that seemed real too, so I thought that really happened. So, it wasn't until later, you know, yeah, it wasn't until later that when someone came knocking at the door and it was Lily, and she seemed so surprised, like, she's alive. I thought she was in here and I thought I had killed her, you know. And so after that, then she begins to question, like, okay, what really happened? And so as she moved the towel away from the door, there was no blood. And so she came to realize that she actually stabbed herself. And I'm not wondering, okay, how? Like, when she was seeing Lily and everything, and when she thought she stabbed her, and and she killed her when she didn't, and this was a hallucination, and yet she came to realize she actually stabbed herself. But how? I mean, if she has stabbed herself, then why is it she was still able to perform this really great performance, dance performance of the Black Swan, of the Swan Queen? So how is it that she was able to do that? How? Like, how was she able to really pull that off and to do it so well without feeling any pain, without feeling like she's bleeding right there because she had stabbed herself? So that just surprises me. And then it was not until later she's probably feeling more of the pain, as she's probably really feeling herself bleeding there. So yeah, I'm just wondering too, how? Because yeah, I remember after the first time watching it, I remember I was just like confused, and I'm just like, wait, what is going on? Like, first this was happening, but then that didn't happen, because like either that was all in her head, or this was some kind of hallucination of some kind. But yeah, I just, like I said, I remember even after the first time watching it, I was so confused. Like, okay, I'm trying to make sense of what's going on here, because I think there's something psychologically going on with her, and to why she's hallucinating with some of these things that we think is also real when it wasn't real. And it was like, what? So, like I said, after the first time, I was so confused. I'm like, wait, what just happened? I'm confused. I made some answers here, but then now I did enjoy it though. I thought it was a good movie, and Natalie Portman did a great job with this role. I just loved her performance, and everyone else did a great job too. So this was great. Like I said, this is a really good movie. Like, it really somehow kind of confuses you, messes with your mind a bit, because it shows you something, so you think, oh, this is really happening, but then turned out something else happens where in fact it did not happen. So it's like, well, wait a minute, then why did it show this what seemed like did really happen and now it wasn't? So either she had all imagined it in her head. It's more like maybe it wasn't a hallucination, but it was something she was seeing in her mind, and somehow it almost like this fantasy played out itself in a way, and it made it seem like it was real when it wasn't. Or it probably was in fact that maybe she was hallucinating, and somehow she was taking it as what was really going on. So somehow in her mind she's accepting of what is going on because she thinks it's real, and she's not thinking of it as a hallucination. So it could be one of those things. So I'm not sure what, but yeah. But and the thing is too, because the word, bleh, I can't speak now. after the first time watching it, I was still confused, but I still thought it was really good, and I still enjoyed it, and and here's the thing though too, because I had watched this recently, because there was a time when I watched it the second time, I was still left feeling confused. Even the third time when I watched it, I was still confused. Like, okay, how is it that she's hallucinating, and how's it why this is happening, and how come she's not able to figure out that this isn't real and that this is just a hallucination. So the first time I did watch it was actually recently. I would say about what 3 4 days ago. But by the time you watch this, it might be longer than that. But I'm still confused. You know, even after the fourth time watching it, I'm still like, someone explain this, because I feel like there could have been something where she could have figured out that these were hallucinations when they weren't real. So I feel like she could have figured that out herself, but it seemed like she couldn't. She couldn't tell apart what was real and what were hallucinations. And another thing too I gotta mention is that when with this transformation, I can't speak. Okay, so with this transformation of her turning into the Black Swan, was that a hallucination too? Because it kind of seemed like it. You know what I mean? It did seem like it. Like okay, like when she picked out this black thing, because I think she was growing feathers. Now, was that real, or was that a hallucination too? Because even at some point her eyes were getting red, turning red, so it seemed like there is something dark, evil that was going on, of this, like I said, her transforming into the Black Swan. But like I said, was either that was real, or was that a hallucination too? Because I'm still confused. So anyway, yes, like I said, so after watching this, I was still confused, even the second time, even the third time, and just recently, when I had watched it the fourth time, I'm still like left so confused and just feeling like I need answers. I need some explanations to some of these scenes and to why this was happening, or you know, because I'm like, okay, this is a good movie. I admit it was, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, but yet I'm like, I need an explanation to of these hallucinations, and her, like, of this scary transformation of her, looks like her becoming the Black Swan. So I just need explanations to that, because I'm like, okay, I'm confused here. Because yeah, some of it, you know, of course, there are some. So some of these parts were actually scary. So I'm like, what's going on? Can someone please tell me what's going on here? I'm confused. But yes, I actually liked how she did her dance performance as the Black Swan. It was, wow, it was great. But I think she dies at the end though, and that's sad. That's sad. So I really wish yeah, I like to see like thriller or psychological movies like that. I really do. So this was great to watch. So yes, like I said, that was my first time watching it, and how since then I'm still confused by it, by some things, of of certain scenes, even after now the fourth time watching it. So I'm like, can someone explain this to me? So yeah. So anyway, that's that's it. That's the first time watching it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you like Black Swan and what your thoughts on it. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like, and for more movie content, reactions, and dreams, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.